Nicole here, and I'm here answering another one of your questions. And today's question was about prefixes and suffixes. That's a huge area of the English language, a huge grammar point. So I'm just going to briefly touch on this, and you'll find much more information about prefixes and suffixes in my grammar courses. However, to answer that question today, what is a prefix? A prefix is a few little letters that you add to the beginning of a word, and it changes that word. It changes the meaning of that word. Yeah, simple. Prefixes can be used to make a word negative, but there's so much more than that. Prefixes can be used to add so much more meaning than just a negative. So let me maybe give you some examples. That's the easiest thing. So you've got, for example, the prefix X. If you add the EX to the beginning of a word, or not all words, just particular words, that means out of or from. So if you're saying something like export, you're taking items out of the port. You're exporting them. You're taking them to, shipping them to another country, basically. So the X in that situation. X can also be used to mean former or something from previously, from long ago. So you might have something like an ex-husband or an ex-friend. They're not your friend anymore, they're your friend from previously. You also might use something like inter, I-N-T-E-R, which you put at the beginning of a word, and that means among. So if you've got something like international, you're among nationals in that situation. Intro. Wow, that actually means in. So introduction, it's in the traduction, it's the beginning there. Mid, clear, it means middle. So if you say something like midway, you're in the middle of the way in that situation. Non is an example of the negative. So you might have nonsense, it makes absolutely no sense in that situation. Another example might be post. Post means after, so you might have post-exam stress. Post-war, maybe something like that might make more sense. What's another one? Un is another negative one there, so you might say something like uncover. Or under might mean something for beneath or under. So undermine, perhaps, something like that, or understand. So there are a few prefixes. Suffixes work the same, except they're at the end of a word. So if you're using a suffix, it changes that base word and gives you a little bit of information. So an example there might be when you've got the suffix able or ible, so A-B-L-E or I-B-L-E, and that always means that you're able to do something, it's possible. So you might say something like sustainable, it's able to be sustained, or manageable, it's able to be managed. Oh gosh, let me think of another one. What is another one that we could use? Age, the AGE ending perhaps. It means a collection of something. So if you're adding the AGE ending, it means collection. So you might have assemblage. It's a collection there. Or ER, quite an easy one. When you're adding the ER there, the comparative, it means that there's more. So shorter, better, bigger, etc. Same goes for the EST ending there, the superlative, it means the most. So if you're adding your EST there to your adjective in this situation, you're saying the most. So the shortest, it's the most short. The biggest, it's the most big, etc. Another, if you've got the IC ending or the TIC ending as your suffix there, you have the characteristic of something. So it might be historic, the characteristic of history there. Poetic is another really good example there. The character of poetry in that situation. The ing suffix there is always your present participle, something happening at this moment in time. So speaking or thinking or listening, etc. So you can see the difference with the suffixes. It's more about the grammar. Whereas with the prefixes, it's more about the meaning. The prefixes are at the beginning of a word, the suffixes are at the end of the word, and they determine the grammar or change the grammar and help you understand that overall meaning. I'm more than happy to give more detailed information about this, or for you to go and watch one of the videos from my grammar courses. However, I thought I'd give a quick introduction just to answer that question, because if you ask a question, I'm here to answer it and to help. So prefixes, beginning of word. Suffixes, end of a word. Changing the grammar, changing the meaning. I hope that helps. Thank you for listening. If you've got questions, ask them below. I'm more than happy to go into more detail. Thanks. Bye.